Jesse. Yeah, I normally have red hair. I have a poem that's called How I Got Red Hair as a Child. And the last time I read it, I realized, oh, my hair is purple. And I am a stepchild. I actually have two of my godchildren here. Sharon, go ahead and put your video on so I can at least see you, sweetie.
No.
There we go. I want to thank Jesse and Orlando for inviting me. And I also want to say, No Land, that was a hypnotic reading, the whole experience. And Nate, it was great to watch you watching the video. There's a kinetic energy to your work that I just really enjoyed. And the background made me feel like I was in an elevator. And there was so much movement. I was like having some interesting orientation. Also, it's really past my bedtime. I live on a farm. And I would do horse therapy with actual horses if they did want to like talk about something, but we partner with horses. They're actually like part of our therapeutic team. And we work with them with people with disabilities. Predominantly what we're doing here now is equine facilitated psychotherapy. So I play with horses and have a lot of critters on the farm. I also really enjoyed hearing that poem by your friend Orlando that we were remembering. And I wanted to, we're actually starting with a poem, and I appreciate y'all being willing to do this. A friend of mine passed, it's been 6 years now, and two of her 3 children are here tonight, and one is gonna read a poem that I wrote about her. And also Jesse and Orlando said it was okay that I share a screen of her reading a poem of mine. My second book, for the book launch, I decided just to have other people read poems that they had inspired. So this is Jennifer Eason.
We are meant to live another day. You say in turn, the headlights off. To test predestination and free will, you were speeding at 3 a.m. through that downtown tunnel with eyes closed. You say no one dies in high school, but we don't know yet. There's more to life than not dying. We emerge on a bridge, endless lifelines asking to be crossed.
Thank y'all. I'm going to turn it back to you, Jesse, as the host. And then also, Elia, where are you?
I'm right here.
Come on in, all yours.
Yeah, one of Malaika's pieces, A Stranger of Your Own. You know you're not here forever when your best friend tells you, I have HIV. You call her a liar because that's better than the truth. You throw paint into the air to show nothing sticks. As a guest performer, you say, presto changeo. In the walls that shape the room are now cages. You say abracadabra, and God becomes the pink eraser on the pencil's end, chewed, and never enough for all the mistakes. You say, where have I been all my life? Leaving your body on the bed, you rise through the smooth white ceiling, through the roof and into the sky with your heart beating in your ears. I am, I am, I am.
Thank you, Elia.
Thanks so much for letting me read it, Malaika.
Oh, I loved having you read it. I did want to say something about Redheaded Stepchild. We're actually open for submissions right now, and we do only take rejects. I think that being a poet, that's something that I collected a lot of. Maybe y'all don't have as many, but I could wallpaper entire homes with just rejects back when it used to be hard copies, and we would actually do envelope and mail it out, and it seemed like we'd wait a year before we heard a rejection. So I like rejects in a lot of different ways. I'm going to read from Spill, which is my second book, and what Elia just read from, so I'm going to stick with that. The bar stool. Last call and you're still here, standing alone. Not a good sign. I'm older than Walmart and I've tripped 200 times. It's not that I'm clumsy. I drop acid on purpose. I've heard that researchers get paid to watch roaches on treadmills and put tiny leashes on moths. I do it for free. It's all about walking and flying, Walking is a simple downward stroke powered by gravity. Flying is neurons firing in a dream where you wake up aware that you're dreaming while you're dreaming. You can practice how high, how low, how fast, or how slow you want to go. I'm not ruining the movie's ending when I say life kills. So walk fast and fly any way you like. And then just one more from this book. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, I see a lot of my East Coast people that have insomnia up. Glad you're here. Sounds After the Howl. It has a quote from Lou Reed. I want all of it, all of it, all of it, not just some of it. We are swallowing grasshoppers and peppers with shots of tequila and falling off bar stools, off curbsides, off rooftops. We are dancing in a thunderstorm, daring lightning strike. We are the tremble, a near tremor that the dog feels before an earthquake. We are doorknobs turning in the dark when you think you're home alone. We are just struck matches, ablaze in ourselves and smelling of sulfur. We are ass backwards, shirts and skirts too tight, and arms and legs too loose. A naked ballet of backstages, back alleys, and back seats. We are overflowing ash cans and trash trays. Our pupils are wide as abandoned coal mines or small as nail holes. We are burnt up, burnt out, burnt down. We are riding too high and flying too low. We are being crossed out as quickly as the days on a calendar in May. We are dropping like flies, like leaves in fall in a nor'easter, like pens with our needles. I'm just going to read one from my first book. And Jesse sent me a screenshot of this book being sold for $500 on Amazon. No, this is a chapbook. That's crazy. Yeah, right. I'll send it to you for free. This was not the first book that I wrote, but it was the first one that got published. And it actually was one that I was hiding the poems. I was already writing. I've been writing for as long as I can remember, but this is actually very close to home. My mother had early onset Alzheimer's, and I was writing these poems and just sticking them in a drawer because I was like, ugh, I don't want to write about this. But eventually I had a friend who said, that is really selfish because there's a lot of people that might connect with this work. And so I finally did send it out, and the publisher said yes. There's a lot of lies in this book. Okay, so there are things that are close to the truth, and I used to do 2 truths and a lie, but this one is one of the truth ones. And my mother's name is Patty. My dad's name is John. She would marry him again. She thinks I'm her hairdresser. I tell her my name's Anne, which it isn't, but it's an easy name. I call her Patty and bend her head over the sink to wash her white hair with gardenia shampoo. When I ask if she has children, she laughs. I'm too young. I'm not even married yet. I say, of course, I knew that. I tell her I've heard that she dates a doctor named John who says he wants to marry her and grow old together. Suddenly she sits up, soap on top of her head, tears in her eyes. She says, I love him too. When he asks me, I'll say yes. When I recount this story to my father, he walks over to her hospital bed in the living room, says, Patty, will you marry me? But to hell with growing old. I'm going to read just a few more. Thank y'all so very much. I'm really, I think it's awesome that there's so many people here. I watched the one before this and was blown away by the range of voices and just the talent. This is my third book, What the Trapeze Artists Trust. And, this is titled, You Have Spoken of Water. The way rain sounds hitting Highway 50 in an August thunderstorm. The way Willow Creek, just before it freezes, smells like winter mint. The way water tastes after falling down Copper Mountain and into your hands. The way it feels to step into a hot spring in winter. The way Minokan Bay can hold the image of the whole sky and a single eagle. You have shown me water, and yet I thirst. And Orlando, I actually picked this one out for you. After one of your poems, you talked about sound as the origin, and I just was thinking about sound in a different way. And I thought, I don't think I've written about sound. And then I remembered that there is one poem that I had that talks about it, but it doesn't really hit in the same way with the meditative way that you hold words. But it's titled Sound Knows Its Place in the Air. And there's a quote by C.S. Lewis. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. 1. Seeing becomes a study of loss in slow motion. A single grain of sand falls, and another, and another. I'm less myself today, but I don't take it personally. A handful of sand, not a beach, and yet all I can hold. 2. There are no longer angels in the flames. We left the fires untended on the beach. Some have gone out. I cannot invent the exact light of your name. 3. We are inconsequential to the dance, but music fills the air around us, ocean waves, heartbeats. Grace lifts itself from the hymns of our tongues. We listen with our whole bodies. I will not say your name, though I believe it was you who called me. The last one from this book that I am going to read is called It Wasn't Easy to Be Hit. It wasn't easy to be hit by lightning. Storms strike quickly like tempers in our family of redheads. When this squall rolled over the butte, a dark fist closing on our small town, I danced down Main Street in my aluminum foil dress and matching hat, swinging a yellow umbrella. Friday the 13th and my 13th birthday, I knew it was my lucky day. A flash and I was jigging. I thought, baby, I'm on fire. I'm a live wire. I fell to my knees and floated above myself, light as smoke, before waking in the hospital. You could say I'm lucky. I can draw lightning now out of the clear blue sky. My hands are sparklers, and electric sockets snake to touch my fingertips with hot tongues. I spark God, flame-headed and wild, always dancing in a light rain. And I'm just going to read 3 from the newest book that has just come out. If you have a new book out and you have had, obviously a lot of your readings canceled, please get in touch with me via Facebook or via Jessie. Jessie can get you to me. But I've started doing weekly book launches back in March, and now we've done dozens of people all across the country, and it's been amazing. But when my book came out in May, I knew it was coming out in the spring, and I thought, well, everything was getting canceled. I thought other people are in this same boat. So I started doing these book launches. If you're interested in joining us, they're on Thursdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And you can find it on Facebook. So likewise, the pandemic book, The Stumble Fields, and it was put out by Main Street Rag. Main Street Rag has done 3 out of my 4 books. Oh, and this is the poem, How I Got Red Hair as a Child. Okay. How I got red hair as a child. The first ghost I met said she could extinguish me like a candle flame. A single gust and I'd be gone. I learned to breathe light into every cell of my body by holding my breath until I could hear a roar in my ears like I'm a forest fire, until I felt lit, until I could say, I dare you. I still have relationships with ghosts, and so a lot of the Stumble Fields is about that. I talk to animals, because it'd be rude not to answer their questions, and I do talk to the dead still. Ghosts don't haunt houses. Ghosts on the tips of our tongues like lost words. Ghosts graying our hair, feathering our ears with endless whispering. What do they want? All ghosts have a mission. One wants to remind you you were driving that night. Another wants to braid white ribbons into your hair again. 1,000 things you remember, and not one's the sound of a voice. Ghosts fit into the hems of our black dresses, into the pockets of our folded, empty hands when we pray. Two more poems. Thanks, guys. The last one from this book, and then I'm going to read a new one. And Jesse, you'll recognize this from Pam's class. I'm so grateful to Pam's class because I did meet some amazing poets. I like classes. I really do. I like learning. This last poem is the last poem of the book. Praise song for what is. Praise the frozen rain, the icicles daggering the trees, the gray snow sludge. Praise the shiver, the wet wind cutting through clothes, the frozen water troughs. Blessed be the hard frost, the frozen pond, the apple sapling snapped in half. Praise autumn and spring, the hot, then cold, then hot again. Praise the corn mazes, the haystacks, the reaping what we've sown. Blessed be the fig tree, the honeycomb, the hive. Praise the kudzu, poison ivy, the forsythia shouting yellow at a fence. Praise the mosquito, the itch, the scratch. Praise the heat waves, the asphalt, the stopped highway traffic. Blessed be the dusty, the wilted, the dry husk of corn in summer drought. Praise the possum lumbering into my chicken coop, the fox slinking the wood's edge, the owl, the hawk. Blessed be their swift descent to prey. Praise the failures, the losses. Blessed be this broken path that brought me here. The last poem is one that's not published. It's still a work in progress. Probably shouldn't read it, but I'm going to. And there is a cuss word. I know somebody had kids. I apologize in advance. Mute me maybe, or don't listen. Summer of Gloves 2020. A hoax, fake news, whipping up an undeadly virus like it's the best meatloaf recipe for disaster. There's nothing to follow, not even breadcrumbs to guide us to safety. No one asked, where are you going, as we jump out the windows of our bodies. You won't explain why you're closed, though everyone can see we're lost. Many of us can't close our eyes, ears, hearts. Is anyone sleeping anymore? You say there are no tragedies here. No one will be hurt or ever die. One day, like a miracle, it will disappear. Everything you do stops our breath. You want to fuck us with a presidential flashlight, thrust your light white inside us for our own good. I need a shot of Clorox to wash this year's down. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Yes, I do
Thank
remember
you.
that one. Elia,
Don't have to be shy. Don't be shy. So
that video in the beginning, Elia, that's your mom?
Yes.
Mom?
Yeah.
And the poem
Yeah.
you read, that's a dedication from Malaika to your mom?
Yeah. Where are you, Sharon and Elia?
I'm right
That
here.
was your mom. And we met in a psych hospital at 15. Drug addiction. Gave me my first mohawk. And Sharon, where the hell are you?
The
I'm
most
right here,
important people in my life.
Malaika.
hey, Sharon.
Love
most-
you.
Hi.
I love you, Malaika. Thanks for inviting me.
And Sharon is a musician and a writer and also studied with Karen Finley. Both of them went to NYU.
But I went first.
That's just because you're the oldest. Come on, we oldest want to take all the credit. Elia, thank you for
Correct.
meeting.
Thank you. Yeah, the people that were most important to my upbringing met in a psych hospital when they were 15.
We call it punk rock finishing school.
Oh,
That's what got y'all stuck with me.
beautiful and scary. I don't ever want to meet you in person.
I'm going to your house now.
So